You're listening to AI Prism from Seoul Economic Daily.
The Fed just went from "the labor market is fine" to a coin flip on whether it hikes next month. That changes your global rates trade. Korea's equity market just posted a real rebound with foreign money finally coming back, but Korea's corporate credit market is telling a very different, more cautious story. And Nvidia's credit risk just eased on a governance clarification, which matters if you're pricing AI infrastructure exposure anywhere in your portfolio. Here's why global investors are paying attention to Korea today. U.S. labor data has weakened while inflation pressure has intensified, splitting Fed officials nearly evenly on whether to hike in September. Korean equities, battered earlier this year by extreme volatility and heavy foreign selling, have started stabilizing as leveraged positions unwind and market breadth improves. At the same time, Korea's corporate bond market is tightening even as stocks rally, a divergence that matters for anyone assessing country-level risk. Here's what the numbers show. Fed funds futures now price a 50.1% probability the FOMC holds rates in September versus 49.9% for a 25 basis point hike, according to CME FedWatch data as of August 11th. Cleveland Fed President Beth Hammack argued for multiple future hikes given 3 FOMC meetings remain this year, while Chicago Fed President Austin Goolsbee said inflation, not the labor market, is now the bigger threat. Non-farm payrolls fell 23,000 in July against Wall Street expectations, even as inflation continues to run persistently above target. The Kospi closed at 6,579.04 on August 12th, up 3.68% for a third straight session, with intraday volatility narrowing to 3.45% in August from 7.10% in July. 2.84 trillion won, roughly $2 billion, is what foreign investors net bought in Korean equities on August 12th, marking a second consecutive day of buying after 541 billion won the previous session. Elevated corporate borrowing costs, the 3-year AA- bond yield hit 4.651% last month, near a 3-year high, have cut large company bond issuance 32% year-on-year to a 4-year low, even as equities rebound. Nvidia's 2056 bond spread over treasuries narrowed 2 basis points to 113 basis points, and its 5-year credit default swap tightened up to 5 basis points to 72.11, after CEO Jensen Huang clarified Nvidia would fund at most 25% of any AI infrastructure deal. CoreWeave's second quarter revenue came in at $2.58 billion, up 112% year-on-year and above consensus, alongside a $104.2 billion backlog that underscored continued AI infrastructure demand supporting Korean memory exporters. So what does this mean for global investors watching Korea? Earlier, we said the Fed just moved to a coin flip on September. Here's what that actually means for you. Rate path uncertainty this close to a decision typically widens volatility in both the dollar and emerging market currencies, the won included. The equity rebound and returning foreign flows argue for tactically re-engaging Korean exposure, but the corporate bond market's continued tightening is a reminder that credit conditions haven't normalized even as the headline index recovers. Nvidia's easing credit risk is a modest positive read-through for Korean memory exporters tied to AI infrastructure build-out, though it's worth confirming CoreWeave's and Nvidia's numbers hold up when full earnings post later this month. Here's what to watch. First, the September FOMC decision, given futures markets currently price it as essentially a coin flip. Second, whether foreign net buying of Korean equities extends to a third consecutive session, which would strengthen the case for a durable inflow trend. Third, Nvidia's upcoming quarterly earnings report, flagged by Bank of America as the next catalyst for confidence in its AI financing structure. That's today's AI Prism, Global Investors. This episode was produced with AI assistance based on Seoul Economic Daily reporting and reviewed by a human editor. AI Prism is a Won IFRA award-winning series. We'll be back tomorrow.
You've been listening to AI Prism from Seoul Economic Daily.